We are creating a revolving door that harnesses energy.
A revolving door. Okay, where's the door?
It's right behind us.
That's, all right, that's the door.
This is the door.
All right.
You want to give it a try?
How does it work? I push it? What is it powering?
It's powering this sign that's right behind you.
All right.
Light.
It's an array of LEDs that are actually hooked up to the alternator below.
So an alternator, just like you would find in the engine of any car.
In the engine
Yes.
of any car.
Okay.
Normally in your car, you put in energy, right?
But instead of using gas, we're using human power to move
so
stuff.
you see that there's a series of sprockets and chains, much like you would have on a bicycle.
Okay.
Then all of these sprockets and chains are actually increasing the speed at which we're rotating that alternator. So the door goes pretty slow.
Right.
But by using a gear ratio and going from bigger to smaller gears, we can increase the RPM.
Because normally an alternator is running at engine, like car engine speeds, right?
Very fast.
Something
Okay.
like 1,500 RPM, and we run at something like 5 RPM.
Right, okay. Why is it flickering like that?
The slower you go, the less electricity you're generating.
Okay, so if I
basically.
push it faster?
So if you push it faster, the lights get brighter.
Okay.
And if you push it slow, you're sort of getting these little
Bursts of energy.
And so how many calories am I burning every time I push through here?
Not very many. Probably about a quarter of a calorie per push.
Okay, yeah, that's not very much
Not
at all.
very much.
How much power exactly can this thing generate?
Well, we can measure it. Do you want to see?
Yeah, yeah.
This is a multimeter, and actually we can get a measure of how many volts the alternator is producing.
It has a lot of variance depending on how fast she's moving, I would guess.
Exactly.
Go faster.
19.
I'm
Yeah.
going
She
as
goes
fast as I
really
can.
fast. You can get around 19, almost to 20 volts.
Ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
What can you power with something like this?
Well, right now we're lighting about 500 LEDs that
Okay.
are right here at the entrance sign.
Which
so-
is not a whole lot of
Yeah, what
energy.
is that? Like how much, what
So
can I do with that?
If I looked at my power bill for my apartment, it estimates that I use about 6 kilowatt hours of electricity per day. So we're getting about 0.4 kilowatt hours per day out of one full day of busy use
Right,
of
so
the revolving door.
what, 13th or something of,
Yes.
of
Right.
what your
So-
daily power would be.
If you were to actually think about this in terms of like lighting light bulbs, if you take one compact fluorescent, you can run it for around 31 hours off of one day of revolving. This is a revolving door that harnesses energy.
Or you could power your entire house if you had tens of thousands of friends.
Yes,
Right.
or if you had a bunch of these installed in your house, yeah.
What if you just walked through them all day long? Would that work?
Yeah.
I don't think it would.
You know, this isn't a solution for solving sort of big power needs.
Right.
It's a solution for micropower.